Look, being a creative on YouTube, being a content creator or YouTuber, whatever you want to call us, is not an easy thing. But we love it. That's why we do this. Now, we all do it for many different reasons, but there's something that ties us all together, is the need and the want to be creative and to share this with other people. What's up, Shenanigans? John here, and I am back. It's been a while. I took off most of this week. I needed rest, had a lot of stuff going on, but I am back to talk to you guys about creativity. This has been something that's been going around in my mind for a couple weeks now about where it comes from. And today I'm not going to be specifically talking about like where in the brain does creativity come from. More in the line of what environment around you is enabling you to be creative, to be able to get the best thoughts out of you. And before we get started, I'd like to say thank you for clicking on this video and watching it. And if you enjoy it, please make sure you hit that thumbs up. And if you enjoyed it a lot, then go ahead and click that subscribe button, hit that bell so you get notifications when I release videos. And here we go. Creativity. Creativity is the ability to look at the same thing as everyone else but see something different. That's what YouTube's about. We're out here all creating. We're all creating from our own experiences, our own minds, and we're all trying to create something to entertain other people. A lot of us get our motivation from watching each other do what we do. It's extremely interesting. One of the reasons I loved family vlogging so much is because you could see all of these different families and how they live, because that's one thing you don't really get to see in real life, is how other people live behind closed doors. You know, families of all different backgrounds living their lives on YouTube. It's extremely interesting to me. I like watching different people and the creative things they make on YouTube. I'm always fascinated with the knowledge people have and how they're, not only do they have that knowledge, but they're able to then portray that and share that knowledge on YouTube. And that's like the basis of YouTube. You guys know how much I've learned how to do on YouTube. It's amazing. I think we're probably all in the same boat. You're watching this video probably because you're trying to learn a little bit more about vlogging or creativity or motivation or something like that. You're probably a creator and you're just trying to find something to get you fired up today to get that content out. I get it. I do it every single day. Now, I've talked to you guys about having my notebook. I have that. That's where I write down all my ideas. I surround myself in an area, now if you can't really see behind me, but if you go back to my other videos, I've created a vlogging wall. Back here with a lot of motivational things on it. That's what this area is for. I have a TV room, I have my treadmills over here, and I know you can't see it, but if you go in other vlogs, you'll be able to see these things. But this room is specifically for me to come down and be creative. I keep this camera set up right here. This is my EOS Rebel T5i. With the shotgun mic on top. I got my lights down here. So all that I have to do is come down, pop the memory card in, because usually I take it up to edit after that, pop the memory card in, and I can come down and I can record. I make sure the batteries are charged. After I'm done, I put the batteries on the charger. I come down. There's no excuse for me not to come down. So that's what I'm talking about. What are you guys doing to make it easy for you to be creative? I write down ideas all of the time. But even having those ideas, it's still hard to get the motivation, the energy to come down and talk about those. And sometimes it's just if you can get through that first 5 minutes. And one of the things I've told you guys about, I've pulled a lot of the things I've done in running. And running, I always learned that if you could just get your shoes on, get your shorts on, get your shirt on, and just get moving, start walking, just start walking, you're gonna run. You're gonna get there and you're gonna be, oh, that was so much easier. I do that on the treadmill. If I could just come down and get on the treadmill and just get that thing turned on and get moving, I'll get it over with. That's the same with this. I love doing this. I'm passionate. I love talking to you guys. I love talking about these topics. I love hearing your ideas down there. You guys are so talented. And I believe in synergy. All of the ideas that we have create a synergistic kind of creativity. We learn from one another. It's better than just one mind. I can't think of everything, but together, if we share ideas, that's why I like this community. But that's what YouTube is. It's a kind of a synergistic, creative platform where everyone can get out there and just kind of share their ideas, and you can learn from one another. I still, to this day, every single day, am learning something on YouTube. And that's what fascinates me. That's what motivates me to be more creative. It's given me an outlet to change how I express myself creatively. My vlogs at the very beginning, not really good, but those are what was happening organically with me. I've learned a lot now, and I'm able to do it a lot better because I've learned my craft, and it's made it easier for me to be creative and express that creativity via this platform. Beethoven carried around a notebook. Like I do. He didn't copy me, I kind of copied him, I guess. Thomas Edison slept in his lab. so that he could be more creative. So if he had an idea, he could wake up and take care of it there instead of having to then go to the lab the next day, because you could lose it. I sleep with my notebook near me so that I don't lose. If I have an idea, I can write it down. It's always around me so that I could do that. Hemingway sat in a cafe. That was his creative space. That's where he felt most creative. And Duke Ellington wrote on trains. See, I'm sure there was probably something to the rhythm of the trains. I don't know for sure, but that helped him be more creative in his writing and his music. That's what we need to do. We need to find that thing, that space that allows us to be creative. Mine happens to be upstairs or running. I have my little space with my laptop, and I have my book, and I'm writing, and I'm watching things, and I'm like, I'll see an editing technique, like, I want to learn how to do that, and I'll teach myself that. Well, I won't teach myself. I'll have someone else teach me, and I'll learn it. Thank you, YouTube. And then I come down in my space down here. It's quiet for the most part. I have everything that I need. My camera's already set up down here. It stays set up down here. I pop in the memory card, flip it on, and I'm ready to record and talk to you. It's making it easier for me to come down and do this. So if I have to take my camera out of something, if I have to put the Rode mic on top, and I gotta set up the lights, and I gotta put everything, I'm probably not gonna do it, just because if it takes me 10 or 15 minutes to get ready to shoot, the motivation just won't be there. So I keep everything ready, always. I learned that from Peter McKinnon, because he showed his setup before, and he said he always kept everything out. And I'm like, that's a pretty good idea. I used to put everything away just because I was always worried something was gonna happen to it. But if you can keep your stuff out, I don't know. I know some people have kids that are younger, and you probably don't want to keep it out, but I can do that now. My kids are old enough, they don't have to come down and mess with the camera, so it kind of works. Now, creativity can be a funny thing. As you get older, you can be less creative because you're not able to get into a place that's creative. Children are really creative. They have a really large imagination, and that's one of the things we lose as we get older. When you're a kid at about 5, you laugh about 113 times a day. By the time you're my age, or probably about 44, I'm 41 right now, that shrinks down to about I think it's about 11 times a day. Laughing, really, 11, from 113 to 11. That's sad. Now, again, that's not a rule for everyone, but just in general, according to the study I read. And also at 5 years old, you do things like ask questions. You ask about 98 questions on average at about 5. And by the time you get to 44, that shrinks down to about 6. Asking questions is another motivating thing. Trying to figure out why things are the way they are and why they should be. What can you do to change things? Those are all things that can help you in the creative process. You need to create a motivating environment for yourself, whether it's away in a shed somewhere, or if it's in a room that is just specifically for you to be creative and do your YouTube thing, or whatever it is, that's painting or writing. You need to have a space that's gonna help you facilitate that creativity. If you're in a place where it's stressful and it's disorganized, it's gonna be really hard to be creative in that kind of environment. It just really is. I know that clutter completely stresses me out. I feel like I need to have my mind in order to be able to do things. And I think probably most people are that way. Have you ever been in a room that's so messy, like you don't even know where to start? It's thrown you off that much. Can you imagine being in a house like that? Your house is so disorganized that you can't even begin to do the things you want to do because it's killing your motivation right off the front. But if things are neat and tidy, put away, and you can have a creative space like that, you can go there and it could be nothing. You have to think about nothing but the creative process and what you're trying to do. These spaces could be anywhere. They could be in the bathtub, going to the bathroom, taking a shower, going for a run. Those could be your creative times that you're thinking and kind of going through the ideas that you have. I use that. Running is a huge one for me. Running, I can think so much and so much more clearly because I don't really have to think about anything other than not tripping and then about the thing I want to think about. It really is relaxing and healthy for you to sit and be able to clear your mind and think about nothing but your ideas and what you want to do. What does your creative space look like to you? Are you setting yourself up for success by having a creative space specifically for you to do what you need to do? Family vlogging is a little different. I do that too, and that is kind of just out there, but kind of trying to think about the storylines when I go through them, trying to organize myself. I need some place that I can think about that because it is difficult to think about 30 or 40 short clips. Like, how does that all fit together as you're doing it? You have to do some planning. So you need a space that will allow you to kind of be creative and help you think about that kind of stuff. Daydreaming is an extremely important thing. People used to, when you're a kid, people tell you not to daydream. They tell you not to look out the window. The answer is not on the ceiling. You need to be able to do that because I think daydreaming is such a powerful thing. That's what helps you think of the next big thing. That's what helps you get your ideas in order. That's what helps you think outside the box. Let me read you a quote here. I should have it memorized by now, but I don't want to get it wrong. All men dream, but not equally. Those who dream by night in the dusty recesses of their minds wake in the day to find that it was vanity. But dreamers of the day are dangerous men, for they may act on their dreams with open eyes to make it possible. And that's T.E. Lawrence and the 7 Pillars of Wisdom. Look, being a creative on YouTube, being a content creator or YouTuber, whatever you want to call us, is not an easy thing. But we love it. That's why we do this. Now, we all do it for many different reasons. But there's something that ties us all together, is the need and the want to be creative and to share this with other people. Now, go out, find your creative space, challenge how you think, put yourself in different spots. You know, just like anything, like working out, your body can become completely used to how you work out and you start to be stagnated. Challenge how you think, change it up. What can you do to kind of challenge yourself to think outside the box, think about things differently? That's what you need to do to really dig deep and get creative as you get older. Our minds are not what they were when we were kids. Our imaginations start to shrink, the possibilities start to shrink, but what can you do to grow that? What can you do to change that? To actually expand your imagination, expand your ideas. Think outside the box, stop limiting yourself. I really love to see your comments below about what you think creativity is to you, how you harness that, how you facilitate it, how you feed your creativity. Do you have a creative space? How do you be creative? How do you think? All right, guys, that's all I had. I really do appreciate you watching this. If you liked it, please make sure you hit that thumbs up. And if you are not subscribed, please consider doing so. I'd really much appreciate it. And go ahead and click that bell so that you get notifications when I release videos. And as always, guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you.